There's a national park that's part Mojave and Colorado desert, and it's so much fun to take friends to experience it for the first time. Let's talk about my must-sees on your first trip to Joshua Tree. Hey y'all, I'm Raymond, and I share my photos and videos from my real travels in hopes of inspiring you to go see and do for yourself. I love bringing friends and family on their first trips here. That's my mom. Because you think you know what to expect, but then you're transported. First time I came here, I just put myself on tape for an international project. Pretty big one. A friend said, let's go camping in Joshua Tree. It'll clear your head. And it did. A couple nights of camping, no distractions. It helped me take my mind off any news from the outside world. When we left and I got back in cell phone range, I had 20 plus messages from casting and my reps saying, we gotta get you to London. And that, kids, is where I was when I booked Black Mirror. So needless to say, my first trip here stuck with me. And that's why I decided to lay out my first trip list of places and other recommendations so you or anyone you take can be transported to. I usually enter the park from the town of Joshua Tree in case there are last-minute provisions to grab. I recommend taking lots of water, and whatever food supply will help you stay in the park and enjoy all of your time there, especially if you only have a day trip. You'll burn too much time trying to leave and come back for a meal. From north of the park, there are two visitor centers, one in Joshua Tree and one in 29 Palms. Assuming you entered from Joshua Tree, you'll start to see the landscape change to those Mojave expectations as you drive down Park Boulevard. And you'll start to see more clusters of the famous yucca variety, whose name comes from the Mormon Pioneers in the 1800s, attaching their religious symbolism to it. The Cahuilla people called it HOO-noo-vaht CHEE-ya and used its fibers as incredible resources for making baskets and ropes. It's had more names in more languages, but the most surprising association I've found is that scientifically, it's actually part of the asparagus family. No, I know what you're thinking. Don't find out if it makes your pee smell. Anyway, very shortly you'll roll up on my favorite hike to start with, and it doesn't have a lot of shade or cover. Almost all of the park is like that. So I of course recommend getting in early any time of the year, and starting with the Hidden Valley hike. Not only is Hidden Valley a good loop trail with incredible photo ops, but it's got layers of history, from Bill Keys blasting his way through to cattle rustlers hiding herds, and so on and so forth. But I'll let you read about it when you visit. Outside of Hidden Valley, if you like climbing, you've come to the right area. There's plenty on the way to the next spot that I always have to hit, Keys View. The 20-minute drive is worth it for a change in scenery, quite literally. Here you get to see out over the Coachella Valley, with mountains like the San Jacinto in view. The actual San Andreas fault line is visible. The Salton Sea can be seen, and on super clear days, you can see as far as Signal Mountain in Mexico. And my favorite part is that the view is accessible, either staying just off the parking lot, or you can do the quick 0.2 mile loop, which has elevation, but it is wheelchair accessible. There are some good trails on your way back to Park Boulevard. But once you're back and headed east on the main drag, everyone I've ever taken wants to stop at least near Skull Rock. And you're probably going to want to boulder around a bit. That's my nephew. This is my favorite area to camp in, and it's the part that makes me convinced that the Flintstone cartoonist came out here for inspiration. After this, whatever you do, don't miss taking the right onto Pinto Basin Road and heading down in elevation to the Colorado desert region of the park. Yep, you've only been in one desert at this point. I love this part of the drive because the elevation drop is so beautiful and distinct from where you've been. And you end up at the cactus garden. Do not pet the fuzzy ones. The garden trail is as short or as long as you want to make it. For accessibility concerns, you can see a lot just from the paved walkway surrounding the parking lot. But the trail is flat and well maintained, so you can truly choose how much or how little you want to do, while still seeing but not touching the frightening fuzzies. From here, if time is short, you can head back up in elevation. I like going down to Lost Palms when I have time to explore. Try to be there for the bounce of color at sunset or sunrise. Going out to Keys View is great for that. Like I always recommend, do what you can. Enjoy it. And make notes for next time, because you're not going to see it all in one trip. If you like what I do here at Raymond's Wear, please support, follow, like, and share.